Hello and welcome, everybody. PubChat with the shills on the EiE Network. We got a great group of people and we got some hot stuff. So let's just get around the room and see what everybody's up to and who we've got. Because I'm not even sure. We got Big Blue Marble Science. How's it going, buddy? What's happening your way?
Oh, man, just trying to get all the flurf stuff off my shoes. I've been stomping on too many of those guys here lately.
There's been a couple of good videos out your way. Any hints on what you're doing next?
I think Mr. Riley needs a little more attention, for one. Followed by maybe a Nathan or something. I don't know. One of the Nathans.
Good calls. Good calls. And I'll get in trouble if I don't ask about Cavendish.
Oh, Cavendish is looking good. I've got the finish is pretty much done. I think I might put one more coat of tung oil on it before I put the thing together. The small lid weights are in shipping to me right now as we speak. I got the laser from BM Furball that he used during his experiment, and he donated a little first surface mirror that I can use too. So it's coming together.
Cool. Good to hear. Good to hear. And we got Jared AT2 Productions with us tonight. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, it has been a riot tonight already. And Blue, I was gonna say, don't let Furball near the power tools. We know what happened last time.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. It's ugly.
Oh, too funny. And I know, Jared, you're ready to get into what we got going on for this evening. But, what do you got coming soon? And, any hints? What are you up to?
Well, now that we've officially gotten into more of a lull period at work now, and the weather is actually looking to stabilize, I'm actually going to be taking full advantage of the two-wheeled therapy and actually seeing just how much usable footage that I can get, especially after finally replacing the seat, because, well, I had so much fun on the thing that I actually wore out the leather on the front edge of the seat, so I think it might be time for an upgrade on the bike, but other things are taking fiscal priority right now.
Isn't that the way? Oh, isn't that the way?
Yeah, and, I think I'm at the point where I need serious upgrades to the suspension or just an all-new bike. I mean, I could have fun with a brand new ride.
Oh, I know the feeling. With cars, I'm always thinking, what's the next thing I'm going to do? Or is it just a new project? Or because you really get into it if you're, a gearhead, right? Absolutely. And I think we should get Mr. Dead Kennedy himself, Kevin Kennedy, in. How's it going, buddy?
Hello, freak bitches. You've got an interesting version of me today. I am full of piss and vinegar, and
I love it.
We got, and I can't wait for what we got in the store today. But I'll hold off on that until we get through all the introductions here.
Yeah, we'll go right to you to lead it off because that's obviously the place to start on this one.
Sure. Well, we've introduced most of the guests. We didn't introduce one, though. Mike Bertelsen, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing really good. Really good. Good to be on. I've just been working from home and hanging out, waiting for things to happen. Actually, it just extended our work from home, too. So Jared's he's been very busy working, and I have just been spending a lot of hours sitting in chairs on computers.
Yeah, that is the downfall of the more practical side of our field is even when we go into a lockdown, guess who gets deemed as essential personnel?
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is from what I do, there's certain things I can't do from home, so every once in a while I got to go in. Certain information is not available to me over a VPN. It's been a while, too, since I put out a video, and I have actually decided to do one this weekend because the density ratio stupidity is just getting overgrown. And, I've already discussed it once. I'm going to discuss it again because it's also blowing up on Facebook, too. People are just loving Love and density. So that's about it. Just hanging out and joining the shells today.
All right. Excellent. Glad to have you with us. I like Roger Rabbit said, been trying allegedly Dave's diet to me because I said I was full of piss and vinegar. That's pretty good. And let's see, who else do we have here today? Well, we have our producer, God himself, Booleanenator. How are you today?
I am doing good, Kevin. I'm the piss and vinegar part tonight is it's shared. I've been kind of up on that all week too, just because of my one and done on Monday. So yeah, it's been interesting to see some of the reactions to that and some of the other side's take on it too, which is hilarious, I might add.
Very much so. I think that'll have a little bit of a tie-in as well.
It may just, yeah. And last but certainly not least, keeping an eye on the chat as usual, we have Aimee, and I don't know if we have the tag team of Super Chat Matt as well or not.
He's floating about somewhere. He usually is. He'll come running in a little bit too, but yeah, he's. I'm excited. We do have a good week this week coming up. We've got all the shows this weekend. We are going to be doing the second half of the treatments on autism on Wednesday, so that is coming right up. We're all prepared for it, so that's great. So, and also we've got some funny things that happened today. I can't wait to get into them. It's going to be fun. So everything's good. Thank you. Oh, there he goes. He just walked by. So.
Well. Excellent.
Unsubscribe and dislike.
There we go. There he is.
There he goes with the reverse psychology. Very
That's
nice.
Right.
All right.
So,
well, where do
yeah,
we
Kevin,
start,
you
man?
want to lead us in then, buddy?
Sure. How do I start this off? I triggered an idiot. I don't know how better to say it.
Is he an idiot, a lemur, or a lemming?
Maybe a mix of all three. So I was in Lil Red's chat earlier today, and we were just chatting about general things. Some of it was about something Katie Joy had done. Some of it was about the generally crazy people we have to deal with all the time. And after a while, I was like, well, I got to go. I got to get ready for PubChat and got to do some other things today. And on my way out, I said, or rather, someone in the chat referred to a certain YouTuber whose username we don't use here. So I corrected that person and said, excuse me, I think you mean Jason Smith from Chillicothe, Ohio. By the way, that's not doxing, it's public information. And then I left the chat. And and that Jason Smith from Chillicothe, Ohio is very upset about this. He's going on and on about how I doxed him and how he's going to report me to YouTube for sharing private information that's publicly available on his PayPal. It's just hilarious. Who else wants to take it next?
You can't really complain though if it's out there. I never understood why people just go all ballistic when, in 30 seconds you can look something up and have somebody's name and location.
I thought we would give the examples of that because we have a screenshot of a PayPal.me link done poorly and a couple done properly. And it's not our fault. He's an idiot.
Yes.
Right?
Indeed.
So,
and for some context, I should mention where I got the first and last name and city and state from were from that same person's PayPal, which they give out on a daily basis. So it was 100% public information that he put out there.
And puts out every time he's on.
Every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it's every 5 to 10 minutes he's live that it shows up.
That's right. So he's just being a whiny bastard is what he's doing.
Yeah. And he seems to think I've done this because I'm angry about something he said, but he has me blocked on every platform that he's on, so I don't know what he said.
Yeah, not possible, right? Not at all.
Really not.
Well, it's like the boat that I'm in. I hear about what he says from other people, and then I go and verify it to make sure that nothing was missing. Oh, yeah, see, Jason, that's what you do when people bring you clips and information. You say, thank you, can I have the link? And then you go check it for yourself.
You know what I find interesting is that he has you blocked on everything, and yet he seems to know everything you're doing.
Yeah.
It's come on, what are you doing here?
Well, he's got his little army of moles who they infiltrate everything that may possibly mention him at some point, and they just wait.
Sitting there stroking his little white cat, thinking he's running the world or something.
He strikes me as someone who would have a sphinx, but
No. If there's anything that we learned from his Periscope streams today, it's that even a random cat knows to run away from him.
I wonder what
I kid you not. Towards the beginning of his second Periscope today, he was starting to talk about something, and then he had an entirely ADOS, attention deficit, shiny moment, because a fucking cat showed up.
I wonder what Jason's cat would say to G-Man's cat if they could have a conversation.
Oh, you think your owner is fucked up? Oh, have I got something to tell you?
do you know that I am now known as G-Cat on the internet?
Yeah. The only cat that's left sitting there wondering, gee, I've only ever seen dogs eat from my litter box, not my owner.
Ew.
Someone had to go there.
Oh
Well,
no,
it was going to be me.
Do you share the same name as him? That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. But you know what? You can legally change your name, so it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like your name is Karen, so
Sometimes I feel sorry for anybody named Karen.
Right now I do in life, but I'm sure it'll get better soon,
I hope so.
I have an aunt named Karen who's like the polar opposite of a Karen. She doesn't complain about anything ever, and I feel a little bad for her.
Yeah, the kind of woman that tips when her meal is bad.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right, Bull's all set. We could put a couple of screenshots up. Should we start with Jason's screenshot of his PayPal.me link? I think we should.
Is that Jason Smith in Chillicothe, Ohio?
Yes, that's him. That's him. And look at that.
This is the shot of what not to do.
Yes. Now, everybody that's paying attention and watching this stream, please understand that this is an example of an idiot and what an idiot would do. Because only an idiot who doesn't want his information online would put his own information online.
And then share it ad nauseum to the point where he is mocked as being a hypocrite when it comes to getting support from your fan base.
Yes.
Yes.
And to Jason, because I know you're going to watch this show, is paypal.me/JuniorRock not your PayPal link? And if I go there, will I not see this very screen? And that being the case, this is not doxing. This is me pulling up a website and showing it on the internet. That's all it is.
That's right.
And not even it's not even a website that was hidden. He made it available.
That's right. Now we have a couple of other PayPal links that we're going to show. One of them happens to be the Shill's PayPal me link, because we wanted to show what can be done if you do it properly. Oh, look.
No real name, no city, no state.
Wow. Unirock,
Yep.
if you're watching, feel free to give me a PM. Oh, wait, I'm blocked. But if I wasn't, we could have helped you set this up properly.
Oh yeah, yeah, Jason. If you want to reach out to us, feel free to. Oh, that's a shame.
It is a shame, isn't it? Because all it does is take a couple seconds to check your settings. You could change it and fix it.
And also, I think it's also worth noting that not only do you not have to put real information in your PayPal.me link, here's my PayPal.me link. Oh, I don't have one. And people can still donate to me on PayPal if they want. You don't need one.
That's right. Oh, and let's be clear, we're not uni-rocking out. We didn't put that up so that people would actually use it because, well, that we don't do that. I mean, you know, we don't ask people to like and subscribe and join our memberships or anything like that on the channel because people will do what they want to do. And, you know, we figure we have smart viewers. So, well, that's just that.
It was just an example of what not to do.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying it's possible to learn from the mistake of others?
See, isn't that amazing? I loved what's it? Oh yeah, right. Coherent consciousness. Yeah, that's it.
Reality, what a concept.
Oh, and
So,
I guess it is worth mentioning that after this stream, Jason decided to go live on Periscope and spend an hour whining and crying and complaining and, you know, rubbing his hands in his eyes and looking for his blankie. And during that time, I created a Periscope account just so that I could say, Jason, public information that you make available isn't doxing. And he responded by saying, well, you can have that opinion. And then he blocked me.
Yeah, except you can't have an opinion about objective facts.
Right.
That's not how it works. Wait a minute, and isn't this the person who tries to say that we're the ones that think and act like flat earthers in our thought processes?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Jason. Real moment here, real moment. Coming close. What causes the phases of the moon again? Did you really say that it was Earth's shadow that did it?
Yeah. Debunking
That's
at
an
its
eclipse,
finest.
you fucking moron!
Oh, dear God.
Wow. Yeah, it's you know, it's a good thing the Earth's on that angle. So like Dead Kennedy there alluded to, he went on Periscope and lost his shit afterwards, and he was talking about how, oh yeah, well, you know, Dick Kennedy or whatever the hell he was calling you this time.
Dixon Space.
Yeah, that's it. Dixon Space. You know, he's a YouTube member and therefore a partner or whatever. So I'm going to have that revoked and all this stuff. And I'm sorry, but you're just not. And I know you're hate watching us right now, you little shit. So just get it through your fucking head. You're an idiot. Fuck off.
And can we just appreciate the irony that Unirock 2, not 1, 2.
Yeah.
Is trying to appeal to YouTube to get me kicked off. Why do you think there's a 2? He's already been a 1.
There must have been a 1.
And not just why is there a 2, why has the amount of subscribers on each successive channel gone down and never even got close to... Wait a minute. What's the number he likes to throw out there? He has a channel with how many subscribers that he hasn't posted anything to in well over a year?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why that is.
What does he have on Unirock 2? It's like 16K subs or something. And he gets maybe 1,000 views per video. Maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of those are just hate views or low views.
And when you're coming from a channel with over 30,000 subs and a channel with over 16,000 subs and you start Rock a Lot, and at this point in time, he's still at like 15-ish hundred subs, what does that tell you? right? I mean, even people that like him can't fucking listen to it that much because he's just, it's always garbage.
I think it says a lot about people who sub and then just never bother to unsub.
Yeah.
They figure out it's crap and they just move on.
2 more channels and he'll be gone.
There's another point here too. I mean, he's got a channel. He's got had several channels. He's got Twitter. He's got PayPal. He's got all this stuff. He has to realize that being on the internet in such a prominent manner, you just can't hide. Realistically, if anybody wanted to find you, they can, no matter what you do. And if it's his fault, and he has to realize that this is all his fault. He's just got to put on his big boy pants and move on.
Yeah. Peter Harrington brought up, I hate View'em. I'm sorry. And I wouldn't hesitate to doubt that 20% of his viewers for the last 9 months, period, are hate watchers.
Third
I'm
to
going
a
to
half.
go ahead and say that's a conservative estimate.
Yeah,
I
third
think
to
so.
a half.
Yeah.
I want to read something that John Rapp said. He said, so you're presenting Jason, presenting Jason's information presented by Jason?
And that may actually all be true too.
That sounds about right, actually.
I need a beer now.
Well, it is the
I'd
PubChat. I'm surprised you don't have one already.
And you were talking about how this is all Jason's fault. Jason, because I know you're either watching or you're going to be watching if you're not huffing and puffing coming back from the vape store. This is your fault. This would have never happened. We wouldn't speak anymore if you could have just had a conversation with me at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
What, 6 months ago?
Oh.
Over that? I don't know.
Over because this started New Year's or Boxing Day, one of those holidays right over the term.
December. Yeah, it was last December. It's been 8 months.
God damn.
Yeah, at least 8 months.
Coming up on 9, which, by the way, I'm still waiting for that expose video. And we're at 11 months right now.
But we're talking about someone who suffers interminable cognitive dissonance, okay? I mean, the guy supports Kyle, who objectively took advantage of me and Steve McRae.
Fool could barely say his name.
but he's out there saying, I think everybody who does pay Boole is taking advantage of him and making him work for free, even though they've paid him. Not sure how that works, Jason. They've already paid me. In fact, some of them have paid me in advance for a couple months, so I'm not really sure how you get that they're taking advantage of me.
Wow.
Isn't that really your business anyway?
Pretty much.
It's just
Yeah.
So what do you think there, Blue? I mean, you're not somebody to play in many of these, back and forth games, but at this point you've heard the whole thing laid out. This is just the most moronic crap, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is. Kept my distance from it for a lot of reasons, I guess. But
Sure.
Sometimes the more you stir it, the worse it stinks.
It's so unnecessary, though, isn't it? I mean, none of this needs to happen at all.
Well, yeah, it really doesn't. I mean, if you don't want your identity out there, then goddamn, don't put it on PayPal, for crying out loud. Everybody in the world sees it.
Yeah. Right. You reap what you sow. I mean, you earned it. You did it to yourself. And if anybody has that information, well, it's because you made it available. How can you cry about it afterwards?
Yep.
Doesn't make sense.
Nope. I agree there. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then again, I'm a YouTube content creator. Jesus Christ, nothing makes any fucking sense. Nothing. No, that's a damn good point.
We live in a world where people think that clouds are titty planets and the Earth is flat. there was a giant mud flood 200 years ago, and we live in insanity.
Now, here's what's bad. Before, the insanity used to be 90% regulated to this area of things. But now, just watch what's happening in real life away from the computer. I don't know which one is worse anymore.
Yeah.
I do
Portland
miss
going crazy, and sorry, Blue, go ahead.
Yeah, I do miss the good old days. I swear I do. I mean, in my day, the crazy guy was the guy that had the T-shirt that said "Jesus is coming and he's really pissed." Okay.
God.
So Jesus is a hate finisher. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone got in trouble years ago in Canada for wearing a Cradle of Filth shirt that on the back said "Jesus is a cunt."
Ooh.
Well, Danny Filth is not wrong in that regard.
But a bit unnecessary to just wear around to antagonize people. Like, do you have to go that far?
Yeah.
I'm on the borderline with that. I don't see it as necessary.
There's nothing wrong with the shirt. I think it was where he's wearing it. It was at some sort of public event, and there was kids everywhere. So I understand.
Okay. All right. I will give that one because, yeah, you kind of got to think about the audience that's around for it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I first saw the shirt at Gigantor 2008 with Megadeth, In Flames, Children of Bodom, bands like that. That shirt belongs there. Does not belong at a public event with children.
Yes.
No.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. What was I going to get at? I totally forgot.
Must have been a lie.
Yeah, there was something about the whole Kyle thing. Isn't Jason building up to something new about that too? Wasn't there some
How many times is this now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Kyle's been, quote, on the verge of winning the case since he, failed to show up to the court date.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of
Here's
having problems with dates.
Well, here's the thing, Kyle. You can't win a case if you don't present any evidence. That's how that works. So guess who's presented evidence and who's presented pure shite? You presented
Sounds
pure
like it's
shite, and Steve McRae has presented plenty of evidence. So I'm a little bit confused as to how you think you're winning.
He must have a flat earther for a lawyer.
Well, denial just isn't a river in Egypt anymore.
Yep.
God, wouldn't that
man.
be nice, though, if somehow it came out that Kyle's lawyer is like Russian vids?
Well, to be fair, if you actually go in and look, he does finally have actual representation.
Wow.
Finally.
He's ignoring their
He's
ignoring their advice. He's ignoring their advice too, I can tell you, because if they were any kind of lawyer, the first thing they would tell you is if there's a court order out there, fucking follow it.
Yeah. He should have presented what he thinks he's presenting now before the order. He doesn't even understand how this works.
He was just trying to hope it would go away.
Yeah, when you're talking about the figures that have been put around that topic, things like that just don't go away on their own. At least not in a way that's advantageous for all people involved.
That's right.
If you really wanted that to happen, we're coming up on exactly a year in a matter of what, just a couple weeks?
Yeah.
That was the time to talk about it.
And it wasn't from lack of trying either.
Yeah, that whole thing is just, I had an interaction recently with someone on Twitter, some McCrazy, who was insisting, no, Kyle fired Steve because of Steve's bad behavior, and I was like, well, here's the problem: that conversation literally never happened. There was no point at which Kyle said, Steve, your behavior is no good. I can't have you on the show anymore. That never happened. And he insisted, well, no, it's Kyle's channel. Kyle did everything legally, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, here's the thing. Legality issues aside, why is it that following Steve being kicked off the show, why is it that the viewership immediately tanked and negative interactions increased exponentially?
Yeah.
That should tell you something.
It should. The court of public opinion spoke very loudly on that issue.
Oh, huge. Wow.
Yeah.
What was it?
Well,
6,000 subs dropped off the Non Sequitur show, and my
Within a
Patreon
couple hours.
48 hours.
and my Patreon went from $40 to $200, and has stayed at $200 since then. So those people who
Nice.
left, they came and supported Steve and myself. Just saying.
Oh, look, there's our favorite, Feel Jesus in You, who says, Kyle has no morals. You are correct.
You are correct, Phil Jesus. We like you. We really do.
Well, and TP Seeker does have a good point. There is a second facet to it. Not only did Kyle and Steve not have the conversation about Steve no longer being on air, you cannot fire an equity partner that you do not have a controlling majority over. They were 50-50. That
Yep.
has been established. That has been acknowledged by both parties. You cannot lock out a 50% partner when you are in business together.
Yeah.
That'd
It'd
be
be like if Siegfried fired Roy.
Right. I was going to use a little bit more down to earth example, but yeah.
They were the only pair of business partners that I could come up with off the top of my head.
And they just happen to be gay on top of it. Imagine that.
Well, yeah.
Does anybody here know the name Charles K. Johnson?
Rings a bell.
And
He's a flirt from 1980. I had an article up on him. I just found the link when I was looking for something else by accident in my history, and it's pretty funny. He drew one of the maps that everybody still tries to use today and whatnot. Yeah.
Wow.
He used to talk about how the space shuttles were all just fake to support the narrative and whatnot, and kind of an interesting dude.
Globenrom, I'm aware Roy did pass away, and that's very sad. I didn't mean to use Siegfried and Roy as any kind of joke about them. They do shows with tigers for a living. How
Yeah.
can you make fun of that?
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But like I was gonna say, it'd be like if you owned a convenience store with somebody, 50-50, and they come in and change the locks on you, and now you can't work,
Yeah.
and they kept all your pay just because you couldn't go into the store, even though
Right.
it's your fucking store. You'd be perfectly within your rights to have a locksmith come out and break that lock out.
yeah, which actually goes to the other facet of this. And here's the thing. I'm going to say this yet again because actually on the first video that I did after all of this blew up a year ago, I have actually said that, yes, Steve, you have some of the blame in the entire situation because you opened the door to allow something like this to happen. So you do have some share of the blame. Bad Steve. Hopefully you finally fucking learned from it. But Kyle, not only is what you did morally objectionable and shows a complete lack of business ethics, you really have been flirting with the legalities of it too. And that's what's frightening, is that you could do that with such abandon and then act like a 5-year-old with your fingers in your ear saying, nope, can't hear you. I did nothing wrong. Look, I have people around me who are on my side in this, and they're saying that I did everything right. Now, mind you, one of those people who have created their own little shit show on the side of it as well had enough sense at some point to get away from it. But then, like the massive fucking idiot they are, decided to jump back onto the bus right as it was going over the edge of the cliff. That's on you. Well, not you, Kyle. That's on you, the other person who I will be charitable in the way that I'm not going to name this person directly, but I think those who have been paying attention know exactly who I'm talking about, because this is a person who decided to block me on Twitter and Discord after I asked them if they would take the same deal that they were advocating that Steve should take from Kyle just to make it all go away. And instead of wanting to take pay from a 50-50 partner with no way of checking the financials to see if what they are getting paid is actually what they should be getting paid, they blocked me. Funny how they didn't want to take the deal that they were advocating someone else to take. Hypocrisy, you might want to lay off the self-kit at home Botox.
You know what's really funny, Dick? You mentioned that flat earther Charles K. Johnson, and I looked him up, and he passed away in 2001. So I'm not going to feel bad about this. I just want to read his obituary. Although the world at large was slow to accept his work, Johnson remained cheerful and unruffled. He enjoyed smoking a cigar while watching the sun set over the flat desert. He was regularly interviewed by curious journalists and was often invited to speak about the subject. He received large quantities of mail, not all of it ridiculing his work, and on one occasion, he starred in an ice cream advertisement. End quote.
Okay.
Okay.
Ice cream.
I love the careful wording, like, although the world at large was slow to accept his work, aka nobody ever accepted his work.
Yeah.
He was regularly interviewed by curious journalists, leaving out that journalists interview flat earthers to make fun of them and for no other reason.
That makes me wonder, what would we set the over under at that when Mark Sargent finally does pass on from this thing we call life, that he's going to have a mention of I believe it was a cell phone provider in Australia that had him in a commercial.
Yeah, that'll be in there for sure. Maybe it'll mention his brave cameo in Behind the Curve.
Brave cameo.
So brave. I've never seen someone get friend zoned so hard.
Or be introduced as living with their mother.
I forgot about that part.
Oh yeah.
And it's so like she's like making dinner and saying something like, I'm making this thing with applesauce. It's Mark's favorite. And he looks at the camera and goes, it's not my favorite. And she goes, well, it was when you were little. It's just so funny.
Oh, and it was a gambling app. My apologies. Again, it's making sure. Now, here's something that is epically hilarious and completely unintended. Right before we make that mention of Mark Sargent, apparently Team Skeptic on his own stream that's live right now just tried to call him live on air.
I remember Beaver calling CC live on air. That was hilarious.
Oh, CC.
Yeah. He is just hilarious. Oh, Kevin, what about that? What about that link I sent you earlier? That guy, the province of Saskatchewan in British Columbia is completely flat farmland, right? It's the prairies. And he took a drive from one side to the other and decided, that's it. The earth is flat.
And it's like, sorry, go ahead.
I would love to see somebody interview Cece's wife. That's got to be a fucking hoot. That has got to be a hoot.
I could just imagine it right now. Stupid fucking son of a bitch! I married this goddamn fucking moron.
It's a really heartwarming moment when I watch a lot of watch people die inside compilations. I think they're hilarious, of just, unfortunate things happening to people, and you happen to catch the look on their face of the hope leaving their eyes, and I think it's hilarious. And it's a wonderful moment when you're watching one of those and CC shows up. His wife yelling at him.
I love that clip where his wife comes in, calls him an idiot or something.
That's the clip that's in the compilation.
Classic. That is just classic.
And then he left it. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
He edited it, uploaded, and said, "Here you go."
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, I wonder if it's part of like the persecution complex. I'm going to keep this in so that people can see that we flat earthers, us truth seekers, were always made fun of.
Mm.
I bet her father worked really hard after they met and got engaged because he needed to earn as much money as he could to try and get an assassination on the go. It just never came to pass.
That
You know.
prairie thing, though, like, holy God, because Saskatchewan is famously flat. Like, there's the joke about the guy who lives in Saskatchewan who his wife left him and he had to watch her leave for 3 weeks.
It's like Kansas. Kansas has got
Yeah.
that reputation in the United States. There's a sign as you go into Kansas from Colorado that says "Welcome to the land of Oz," and it's misspelled AHS. And you know why? Because by the time you get to Kansas City, you say, "Oz, give me a damn curve."
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, these God, that guy, you know, just drives across a flat little bit. Like, I mean, he's from Canada, and everybody knows we have the Rockies. So doesn't that kind of put a wrench into the things just right there?
Yeah.
If Saskatchewan proves the Earth is flat, then why can't you see the Rockies from there?
Why can't you see a lot of things? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love some of these guys. Just so funny. Cece, his arrogance when he's streaming, you know, I just can't believe you people and how you can all be so fooled and stuff. Like, can you imagine the poor guy's mother every day? How did that come from me?
Yeah, I doubt he could get away with talking to like his mother and his wife that way, though.
Oh.
Why do you think he does it online from his car?
That's right.
Every time I see a flat earther in their car, all I can think is, you're doing this because you don't want your family to know about how stupid you are,
You're
or
hiding.
they know and they'll make fun of you if you do it at home.
Well, just before that guy's channel went down, his girlfriend's Facebook page was going crazy with other people telling her what he's doing on YouTube. And like within about 2 weeks, that's when his YouTube channel disappeared.
Oh, she might have pulled the ultimate V card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She might have, yeah. Flat earther me, pick one.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think Scotty Storm left because he needed to get a job. Except if you go and search Scotty Storm, all you do is find videos of people ripping him apart. So if anything, all he did was took away his part of the argument and just left everybody making fun of him. It's hilarious.
Oh no, Dick. Scotty Storm just pivoted to a different kind of stupid.
Oh no.
He's an odd Aussie soft sit.
Oh geez.
How does that even work? That's what I want to know.
Geez.
Like, what logic do they use in Australia? I get here they try to go back on a Continental Congress, right?
Yeah, they always cite the Articles of Confederation.
Right.
Doesn't exist in Australia.
And in Scotland, they don't
have the Scottish law.
Right, they don't acknowledge that the MPs of the Scottish Parliament broke up 300 years ago. That's how they, justify that kind of stuff. But how do you do that in Australia?
Oh, I don't know, but the couple videos that I've seen are master classes in insanity and stupidity mixed into one, because we all remember how Scotty loves to wear a questionable amount of non-clothing. And there was one video in particular where the police were actually at his home, where Scotty lives with his dad. He lives in his father's home. The cops were there just to talk to Scotty, not to necessarily take him in or anything initially. But Scotty talked himself into being arrested, and the entire time his dad is like, just shut up and go with him.
Well, That's typical of a soft sit. They just talk
Yeah.
themselves into getting arrested every time.
Yeah, and so Field Jesus and you asked a what? Sovsit is short for sovereign citizen, someone who thinks that they know the law so much better than all other people, judges included, that the law does not apply to them.
Mm-hmm.
You see this?
A popular-
Scotty Storm. Peter Harrington says Scotty Storm got arrested for ripping down COVID awareness posters.
You know, I was going to say, just to like,
Oh, yeah.
because this is the common thing that everybody knows. Sovsits like to do the thing where they get pulled over for a traffic violation and they claim that they weren't driving, they were traveling
Yes.
in a car.
And my question is if you're going to be, doing this traveling thing, i.e., not having insurance and registration and a license on your car, at least do the smart thing and drive a car that isn't defective. Like, have taillights out and look like it was driven off Moe's used car lot. Don't draw attention to it. Like, make it look good.
And don't drive like an asshole either.
Yeah.
Right. Follow the actual laws of the road so that you don't get pulled over.
One of the things I think I've noticed, though, from the Sovsit videos that I've seen on YouTube, most of those guys, I think, go out of their way to try to create confrontations, to try to get pulled over, to just to have content to post.
Yeah, because that's where they get their the content is confrontation with the police.
No matter how fucking stupid they look, too. It's amazing how idiotic they make themselves look, and yet just put it out there on YouTube.
Oh, Mike, we were talking earlier and mentioned a mutual friend of ours.
Yes.
What about his latest video that he did on exposing a pair of sovereign citizens who specifically went into a local government building under the pretense of getting a particular form? They said FOIL, but it's actually a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act form,
Right.
and then decided to walk around, and despite being asked on multiple occasions to leave, they refused because, well, it's a public building. We can be here. And the cops who showed up practically knew both of the guys by name because it wasn't their first time doing it.
Of course not. Of course not. That seems to be a common thread, too.
I personally think that Scotty Storm's parents should volunteer themselves to be sterilized so this never happens again.
Too late.
Jared, was their name in all caps, perchance? Just saying.
Wine and Reason, we're just talking about sovereign citizens and how silly they are. That's all. They just showed up and wanted context on what we were talking about.
Yeah, that whole traveling thing. I got into an argument with a guy on Flat Earth Society forum about that. And it goes back to some Supreme Court ruling in like 1905 that has been superseded by the Supreme Court. I don't know how many times since then. But this is in Black's Law Dictionary. This is, you're traveling. You're not. If you're not engaged in commerce, as if driving a commercial truck or something, you're not driving. It's like, but what about all this other case law? And the guy said case law is law. It's like, well, okay. What about all this other stuff? And I cited like 5 from his state in California that contradicted him and overrode previous decisions. And he was like, no, that doesn't matter.
Well, isn't that also part of why the actual terminology in a lot of states changed from a driver's license to an operator's license?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and they talk about how cops can't do this, cops can't do that, and they technically have no arrest powers, and I don't know where any of that comes from because the Supreme Court has upheld many times the rights of states and municipalities to have a police force to enforce the laws. And I don't even know where they could possibly come up with some sort of technical rationale to say, hey, you don't have any power, you don't have any authority, leave me alone.
Well, they heard someone say it on YouTube, and well,
Yeah,
we all know
yeah.
the intellectual power of the YouTubes.
That's right. You know, the YouTube University.
Yeah. Just, pardon me, really quickly, because this question's been asked twice and I missed it the first time. Chris Durham wanted to know, Blue Marble Science, is that you picking the banjo at the end of the Eratosthenes video?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me. I was just about to answer Chris.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. I don't. I'm not like that anymore. I rarely ever get the banjo out, or the
Only-
guitar or banjo, either one.
Only when
Once
you
in a
want to
while.
scare the travelers.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Blue, I'm the same right now. All through the late 80s and all through the 1990s, I toured in bands all over North America, right? And I picked up the acoustic the other day to start working out this little blues riff. I got a few members of the community that are going to join in and we're going to do a song. And holy fuck, the slop coming out of me was atrocious.
Tell me about it. Oh my God, absolutely.
Oh, I was pissed. and you know, holding like I was fretting some kind of stretchy chords and whatnot and doing a few little like throwing in the extra notes to keep the blues rhythm going and stuff. And after 10 minutes I could feel it in my left hand real bad, and I used to do it for hours, right? I was just fuck.
Oh God, yeah, we'd play sets for 4 hours a night, and you know, think nothing of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then go just sit around thump around on the stuff, just relaxing and having a beer. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I tried to play Sultans of Swing right now, at the end of the song, I'd be like, "Oh, thank God we're done," because my hands would be sore, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a single callus left on my fingers, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed
one of
that
my-
too. I definitely had baby bum fingers. I could feel the strings. It was not good.
No.
Yeah,
No,
now
I
you
get
know why that I went to the drums instead of sticking with the stringed instruments.
I was close to that one too. I did learn how to play drums well enough to write songs, just so when I programmed them sequence style, I wouldn't do things that are impossible, because then you just hear it and you go, "That's wrong. It's fucked."
Wait,
That,
you mean
like,
you
if
don't?
it ever became... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you don't want to get a Drumomatic 3000 like Deathclock has?
Oh God.
Death Clock, what an example.
That's awesome.
The Binford 6300.
Love it.
Yeah, what I always wanted
yeah.
to do.
Roger
I was,
Rabbit.
Sorry, Blue, go ahead.
I always wanted to be to play stand-up bass. That to me was the ideal instrument. Just think about it. The damn thing's only got 4 strings on it, and one of them is so damn low you can't even hear it. So, you know, you're really playing a 3-stringed instrument for all intent.
Yeah. And
Well, you know,
just the epitome of cool.
Oh yeah.
yeah. We've seen Brian Setzer's orchestra Christmas
That's where I was gonna
show
go.
a few times, and like halfway through the show, the whole orchestra goes away, and you just have Brian with his guitar, a guy with one snare drum and a cymbal, and the guy with the upright bass. And the guy they had playing upright bass for him, he was nuts. I mean, he would like jump on top of the stupid thing, playing it and going all crazy. It's kind of amazing the stuff that he could come up with.
Yeah.
Mozart style.
Yeah. I always love a good bass line in a tune too.
Chris Durham says, discussion successfully derailed.
It's a pub chat. There were no rails for this to begin
There's
with.
absolutely none.
True enough. We had, other than picking on Jason, we had no agenda. So
No, yeah. Well, I like Roger Rabbit in the chat. He was explaining some things about what Sovsits believe, and some of it really cracks me up because I've heard it all before. They think that because the flag in courtrooms has gold trim around it, that means it's a maritime flag, and maritime courts only have jurisdiction in the water.
Hey, Mike. How many flags did you see at sea that had the gold trim on them?
Not very many, I don't think.
The only time I did was for dignitary visits when we were in port.
Yeah, and if anybody wants, I've got the mil specs for flags, and it doesn't make that distinction. I'm sorry.
No. And
Yeah,
another popular thing they do that really cracks me up is the person's name versus the corporate name.
Yeah.
They believe that every person has a corporation named after them, and if you see your name on a legal document in all capital letters, that's the corporation name, not the person's name. That's just to make it easier to read.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because the old teletype stuff was horrendous with the lowercase.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of Eddie Izzard saying, imperialism is trying to take over the world with the clever use of flags.
This is our country now. Do you have a flag? We have a flag.
The other one I
but
like.
my flag has fringes.
There you go. They've got a gold fringe. Fear me. The other thing I like is the Moors, how they claim they were here before everybody and this is their country. And they go anywhere they want, do anything they want.
Yeah.
They like go into homes that are closed up and say this is now ours because, well, we already owned it to begin with. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The disconnect in that particular circle is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Does Streamlabs think we're doing poker night? Because Streamlabs just said you can find the links in the featured halftime songs in the description below.
Oh, that's funny. They didn't get switched from show to show. That's one thing. Streamlabs is completely inept for what we're doing by having multiple shows on one channel, right?
So you have to manually go in and change something?
Yeah, and we have different pop-ups for different things. Like right now, if a super chat came in, who knows what the pop-up's going to be because I didn't bother looking, and it's probably the wrong one.
You know what? Let's find out. Someone in the live chat, go ahead and give a super chat. I'm curious now. You know what?
I wonder what it is.
Oh. Mipit69 just said it does it every week. My bad. I usually don't pay attention to the Streamlabs bot. I just happened to notice that.
Other than when it's time for a heist.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know how all that stuff works. So
I've finally learned it. It's taken a year.
And you've been on this channel for how long of it? Oh, wait, you're one of the founding members of it, Dick.
The only reason
I know, right?
The only reason I have any points at all is because Dick gave them to me. I don't actually use them. I didn't earn them. I just got them for being a member of the channel. That's all.
Like, what are they for, anyways? Like, do the points actually matter? Like, are we talking U.S. version of Whose Line Is It Anyway point or UK version?
UK, where the points are meaningless and exactly.
Well, the U.S. is where the points are oh God, what's the exact line? Everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's the U.S. version.
Yeah. Okay, well that's this show, so that's the points too.
They're God points.
That's funny.
You can redeem them in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Because God cares about Streamlabs.
Feel Jesus on you. You guys you better get on that.
Yeah.
Streamlabs' brother is Skynet. Be polite. Shit.
At the pearly gates, let's see. You saved a cat. You had a good life. Oh, your Streamlab points are kind of low. I'm not sure about this.
Oh, that's funny. I'm having to log into Streamlabs right now to fix something. It's that in here.
But this is gotta love how scattered-brained and shotgun this has ended up being, but at the same time, just to bring everything full circle, just to bring that nice dose of levity in a positive manner. You see, Jason, this is what happens when you have friends.
He's busy huffing and puffing on his way to the vape shop, all on his own.
Oh, God.
Cat's running away from him in fear.
Oh,
Dear God.
Come here, pussy, pussy, pussy.
oh, and I know that that is going to end up getting clipped, and I don't have a problem with it.
This is Dick.
What
I
the
do not
hell?
like this. I do not
What
like
did Stream?
this.
What is Streamlabs saying to you? What's going on?
I don't like what you've done. Don't make robots address me directly.
Yeah, I did.
You've got your number.
Oh, wow. That's too funny.
That, like, God, you shouldn't have said you were going into Streamlabs to change anything. It would have been so much more terrifying.
Yeah, but I didn't change it. It was somebody else. It wasn't me. I just gave Keelah some more points to play with.
Streamlabs may have his number, but at least it doesn't have his state or his province and town.
That's right. Or does it?
Oh, that. Well played, sir. Well played. Oh, God damn it. And she screenshotted it, too.
That'll
Good
be a
on,
meme.
good on you, Krafty. Good on you.
There you go. That'll be a meme in about the next half an hour, I'll bet.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Holy crap, Linda.
Oh, my God. Wait.
What?
1,472,085 show points.
That's
Wow.
big.
And she earned every one of them, by the way.
I was just gonna say, I don't think anybody boosted her points from the team. I think she did that all on her own.
Yep, she did.
Well, what about Mippet at 4.9 million?
Yeah.
Wow.
What does Kiwasa have? Does he have anything? Because he's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen Kawasa in a couple of streams, but usually continuously playing the points. Continuously, yeah.
Oh, there was shenanigans going on there.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Little,
It's like, you'd go down to almost nothing, and the next thing you know, it's like, okay, he's not even on the top 10 list, is he?
Oh, there's
And,
Not
he'd
anymore.
have-
Chris Ketzel is 8 million.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got more than I do, and I can cheat. I can just add points. I mean,
Yeah,
You're not cheating very well then.
I know.
I could literally put myself first if I wanted to in about 10 seconds, but
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. And this just goes to show that deep down, some of us do have ethics and some of us do have integrity, because even though you could, you haven't.
Yeah, they haven't bothered to cheat in a game where the points do not matter.
Chris Durham, yes, I have heard Eddie Izzard's Death Star Cantina. Keiko Death!
Oh, no, my favorite little skit from Eddie Izzard is just what the hell are the cats doing back there?
I like the thing about what was it? It was about different languages and how, like, French, for instance, has a male and female for each word, and he was doing this thing where where it was like, this is a spoon, but is it a male or a female spoon? It's a fucking spoon.
Granted, I know the actual and logical answer, but how would you differentiate between the two?
Depends on who's the
know.
big spoon and who's the little spoon, I guess.
But even
Who has
then,
more
Bull,
legs and who doesn't?
but even then, you have people who like to switch it up.
I'm top spoon.
True.
Oh, what were we talking about?
There is no spoon dick. Fuck off.
The spoon is in your mind.
This spoon is a lie.
Has anyone ever seen a low budget? I guess you'd call it a horror movie called Dog Soldiers.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's freaking great. I think it's a British movie about a team of soldiers who are dropped into a forest to do like some kind of training exercise, but then they end up surrounded by werewolves. And it's fucking amazing. And there's this wonderful moment where they're looking for one of their friends whose nickname is Spoon, and they end up finding a pile of gore with dog tags in it. And one guy reaches in and holds up the dog tags and goes, "There is no spoon."
I think I remember that. That's like one of the worst makeup jobs for a werewolf I've ever seen, I think.
You know what? They're really good in some shots, and in other shots they're really bad. Like you can see seams and you can see bare skin. And
Well, wait.
It's like
Are we talking?
jam, I think.
Are we talking Leprechaun 2 bad or Leprechaun 5 bad?
Oh god.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Isn't there one famous shot where as people got better with, being able to zoom and kind of, clear a picture up a little bit, you can see a wristwatch or something? Or is that just,
Isn't there a shot of the movie Troy where you can see an airplane overhead?
Yeah.
I think there is.
Yeah. It's like sometimes depending on if you can see a certain scene, you can tell from which of the original Planet of the Apes movies it comes, because the makeup was really good for the first movie, and the farther you got along, the crappier it got. So you can actually see them and go, yeah, that's like,
Wait, you mean you don't want it to look like they're just using 2 hollowed out sections of coconut?
yeah, just stapled together. Yeah, it's depends on budget. It's all budget. It's all about fun.
Budget and dedication of the team. Because
Yeah.
you know what I'll always point out. Godzilla, 1997. It has these baby Godzillas in it that whole movie's a fucking abomination. But those baby Godzillas, 1997, they look worse than the raptors from 5 years earlier in Jurassic Park.
Now,
Yes, by a good margin.
Now you gotta remember there, Kennedy, that you just stumbled upon the greatest paradox in the movie industry. Yes, the 1997 version of Godzilla sucked as a movie. Objectively, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Badass fucking soundtrack, though.
Oh yeah, it had Rage Against the Machine, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Although I will say, actually, there's a fact about that really, really cracks me up. I think it's the song "No Shelter" that's on the soundtrack for that movie. And I'm pretty sure that they picked that song because it references Godzilla at one point. Here's the lyric that contains Godzilla. "Godzilla, pure motherfucking filler. Keep your eyes off the real killer." It's a lyric saying Godzilla is a waste of time.
But it says Godzilla.
Wow.
That's all we need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I just, I'm a big fan of the classic Godzilla movies, so that movie's a fucking travesty.
What was that movie I just sent you the link for that sounded like it could be really funny there? Kevin, what was it called again?
Was
American Pickle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
Pickle?
Yeah, an immigrant worker in America working at a pickling factory accidentally gets pickled in a jar and then opened up 100 years later.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
It's like the
Damn.
best
Like
frozen in time premise ever.
like
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
like how do you like a whole person in one jar? How big is this
It's a really
jar?
Yeah, yeah.
How big is
50
this?
gallon drum.
Okay, that's I don't buy pickles, I buy 50-gallon drums, but okay.
Amy's got her hand up there. Did you want to get in there, Amy?
Yes, please. The plot hole is asking us to say a quick hello to Jocelyn.
The bot. I can't see.
Right here, honey.
The butthole says. The butthole.
Yeah, read
Butthole
it.
surfers? Another great
Can I
band.
get a quick hello from Jocelyn?
For Jocelyn, yeah.
For Jocelyn.
Say hello, Jocelyn.
Hello, Jocelyn. This
Hello,
is for you.
Hello,
Butthole.
Jocelyn.
Hello.
Hello,
The
Jocelyn.
butthole said, Can I get a quick hello to Jocelyn?
You did, huh?
Man, he loves that username.
He certainly does.
That's too funny. Hi, Jocelyn. Hope you're doing well, honey.
Oh wow, Ash Scott just made a point about Troy that I didn't notice. The movie Troy. There's a point where somebody refers to Achilles as a loose cannon. A loose cannon.
Wow.
They didn't exist yet.
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
Yeah, because you have to have one on the deck of your ship come loose before the saying makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
See, feel Jesus in you. Why? This isn't right. A flat earther isn't supposed to be a fan of interesting things. The fact that you're a Twin Peaks fan is annoying more than anything.
Well, wait. Then is he really a flat earther?
I don't know.
Dun, dun.
Jerry's still out.
But that whole issue with language there for a period piece just really made me think of just how Leon, if you're out there watching, I am going to find a way to hurt you because of what I came into my Discord server and found. So for those who don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do entertainment nights on my Discord server. Tuesday nights are Star Wars material. We've been going through the Clone Wars animated series. Wednesday night are movies that people are able to vote for, which, yeah, motherfuckers, we watch them on Wednesday nights, which means you have until mid-morning Wednesday Eastern time to vote for it if you want to have a say in what we're actually going to watch. And we mostly watch actually good, sometimes forgotten movies from like the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Back when Hollywood wasn't full of shit. And then Thursday nights, tonight, we do Star Trek, and we've been going through the Next Generation episodes. But what did Leon decide to start the show with? The premiere of Lower Decks.
Oh my God! I watched the part until the first part before the actual intro starts, and I don't even think I made it to the theme kicking in. Like I was just, what the fuck? I'm not doing that. Holy fuck!
To sum it up in a word, painful. For those who are on my Discord server and were there for the torture that we put ourselves through of watching Star Trek Picard when that was being aired, I would almost say this is worse.
It is, by a long shot to me. I watched Picard, and I didn't find it as off-putting as some did. I thought it was all right. But the first 2 minutes of Lower Decks is just, wait a minute, why are we mixing Star Trek with some shitty version of Family Guy or something? Like, what the hell is this crap?
Oh, no.
You know what drove me nuts about Picard? There's a huge premise of Picard that they ripped off completely from the Mass Effect games.
Really?
A artificial intelligence that comes periodically throughout the universe to cleanse it of organic life. That's the Reapers from Mass Effect.
Yeah, and you want to know where they first hinted at it? In Discovery.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were, they were trying to make that connection to make the reemergence and season 3 of Discovery make more sense, because the Discovery is jumping far into the future.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
When is that supposed to come out?
October.
October?
Did you guys hear the sad news about the Orville?
Well, here's the thing. The whole thing of the Orville being canceled is not factually accurate.
Yeah.
It is not that it has been canceled. It is that with the buyout of Fox by Disney, they just haven't gotten to signing it up for more than this 3rd season.
Well, I just read this yesterday, Jared, on one of those entertainment sites, and the original network has now sold it to another one, and they are only committing to season 3, and that's it. It's done.
As of right now, that studio, that does not mean the show is over. Keep in mind, Seth MacFarlane has no problem moving a show of his to another network.
Oh, that's true. But in that same article, they did reference the fact that Seth seems to be in no hurry to get anything done on the show in the moment. But look what's going on in the world. So I don't know how, I mean, but if this network's only going to do one episode or one season, and that's already been announced, then there's a really good chance there's more than enough time to get season 4 onto a different network and going. So I hope that becomes the thing. But right now, we've only got a guarantee for one more.
Now, here's another facet to remember to bring all the factors into play. Even though Fox Media and Fox Studios is now owned by Disney, and they're going through that transition, every time they do that, they put out a list of what recordings, what sound stages are coming available. The one that they've actually been filming the Orville in is not on that list.
Huh.
Oh.
So that's where it really is in a gray area. And one of the executive producers actually responded to a tweet that said that it was canceled, that said, no, nothing in this article is actually accurate.
Interesting.
So, yeah, there is right now a potential gap in what studio is officially going to fund it, but it doesn't mean the show is, in fact, over and dead at this point.
I wonder if Disney doesn't want to commit money at this time because Disneyland is closed, Disney World is barely open.
Yeah, Disney has been hemorrhaging money, both between the parks not having the foot traffic.
The cruise line's closed.
The cruise line is completely closed.
Yeah.
And here's another factor, too. What has been their return on another major IP that they recently purchased in the last few years? They haven't really made much off of Star Wars like they thought they were going to.
Right.
I thought they made
Galaxy's Edge just opened, and now nobody's going. So
I could be totally off, but I thought the main trilogy made them a big chunk of money. Am I wrong on that?
Because they took over some of the licensing by buying Lucasfilms, they've gotten residuals in that aspect, but they're not getting 100% of their residuals because it's still in the sales agreement that the original long-term in perpetuity residuals, a portion of those still went to Lucas and other major players from back in the 70s and 80s when it was launched. Yeah. So they made some off of that. They do make some off of that. But when it comes to the new material that they have put out, they've been very mum on the actual numbers of how much they're actually making off of the merchandising and other aspects. They've claimed success at times to kind of self-prop to keep investors interested, but the investors do not want to fund the movies anymore. And Galaxy's Edge, before COVID hit, before the shutdowns started happening, it was already way below what they were expecting for a turnout.
Right.
You know, I just looked it up, some information on the profit of the Star Wars movies. I knew the Solo one was pretty bad, but wow. Budget $275 million, worldwide box office $392 million.
Which is a loss in Disney's eyes.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, because like budget, does that include the whole budget? Does that include advertising budget? Like
that.
You hear about the Mulan movie? They're putting it on streaming at $30 a shot.
Yeah.
September 4th or something like that.
What the fuck?
So Kevin, that initial budget, that is actually just to produce the movie. Typically, that does not include advertising.
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
advertising is a huge chunk.
So that was the whole one this time, including advertising. Yee. Yee. Well, I guess it kind of makes some sense on how it's turned out.
Yeah.
Because they've really tried on the advertising on a lot of the newer movies, and the only one that has actually been good was Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Solo was pretty much crap.
Yeah, the new trilogy's dull. Solo was dull.
You know what? I'm one of those weirdos who's of the opinion that the only Star Wars properties worth anyone's time is chronologically the first, not chronologically in terms of production, the first 3 movies, and one of those only succeeded because everybody was telling George Lucas, "No, you can't do that. That's stupid. No, you can't do that. That's stupid."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could have done without Ewoks. You could already see what was going to happen in the future. I mean, let's face it. Jedi has a few cheesy moments in it, absolutely. You know, oh, yeah, we can just swing this log and your big evil thing is just no match for us. Okay, fine and dandy. But after Jedi, you get the Christmas special. Need I say more?
Actually, Dick, I have to correct you. The Star Wars Holiday Special was in 1978. The only thing that had been released was the first movie, A New Hope.
Oh, so what we can infer from that is Empire had already been written, so that the influence of the holiday special had not cursed it yet, and its influence starts with Jedi, and then just morphs through the whole thing and ruins everything until you get that new chick.
Well,
I would take an Ewok over Jar Jar any day of the week, though.
Oh yeah.
True.
And here's my thing with them. It's like it really you've lost the plot and the plot hole. If you start putting our politics and our social whatever, our entire our political commentary and agendas into those movies. Those are supposed to be fantasy. They're supposed to be about a galaxy far, far away. It has fuck all to do with our politics. Long time ago. We didn't even exist yet, so get over it.
Yeah. The closest thing you have is the Empire being aesthetically similar to the Nazis.
Yeah. I mean, why did Jar Jar have to talk like the twins from Full House? What was that about?
Oh no! That is an insult to Full House.
Yeah. Good God!
I mean, Jar Jar. The character was put in there with the intent and purpose of him being a bit of comic relief.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that there was actually an intent at some point for Jar Jar to actually be the Sith Lord instead of Palpatine.
There's that theory. That theory exists.
It does. Darth Jar Jar is a theory out there, and it
Yep.
does kind of have some merit when you watch the especially episode 1 and then the Clone Wars series. There's a couple things in there where it's like, wait a minute, this guy is a klutz. How the hell is he getting away with this?
Yeah.
Plot hole says Jar Jar was originally supposed to be a Sith sympathizer.
Yeah.
I like the part where they say, "Oh, we're gonna need a navigator to get out of Gungan City, so we better, hook up with Jar Jar." And then later on in the little thing, how do you know where you're going? Jar Jar says, "The Force will tell us." What the hell is that all about?
I like what the plot hole added. He said that's why he was kicked out of the Gungan City, is because he was a Sith sympathizer. And it
Makes
just
a lot
occurred to
of
me
sense.
they never do give you the reason for why he was kicked out.
No, they don't.
No, he just said because he was clumsy. But that's
Yeah.
from him.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then they come into the city and the way they greet him isn't like, "Oh, that clumsy guy is back." It's like, "Oh, that guy we don't want here is back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, let's face it, no matter how you look at it, Jar Jar should be shot and pissed on. I mean, that's the only end result, right?
I liked what Mr. Plinkett said in his review about Jar Jar, or about, he was talking about protagonists and how you need a proper grounded protagonist in a movie, in a series like Star Wars. And he said something like, if you really need someone that the audience can relate to, especially if your movie has a cartoon rabbit that steps in the poopy.
Oh man, that's too funny. That is too funny.
You know what? You know what, Plot Hole? You just gave me an idea. We haven't been on a stream together, but I think we could have quite the show, and we could even put it on both channels.
He knows his stuff.
We could have the ultimate Star Wars versus Star Trek discussion.
Oh, that I gotta be honest. I hate that discussion because
we
to
can
me
have fun
they're
with it. We can have fun with it because I'm a fan of both, but I am more Star Trek, so that's why I think this could really be fun.
no. It's just my issue with it is that they're completely different animals. Like,
Yeah.
Star Wars is pew pew Nazis in space, and Star Trek is 45 minutes of people standing around going, "Why doesn't the engine work?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I always
I
saw it like
personally
a
thinking,
mystery show set in space.
yeah, what
And
they
Jared,
need to
we
do
could
in
add-
Star Wars. Oh, what they need to do in Star Wars is you need to go to the pit with the big, worm thing that eats people, and we need to drag Jar Jar there and knock on the door and say, "Hey, trade you for Boba Fett."
Nice. Oh,
And then, Jared, we could even add another dimension to that because I am also more of a Star Trek fan, but I'm also an original series fan. So
Yes.
you can bring that aspect into it, too.
See,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I really throw people off because while I should have cut my teeth on TNG just based on when I was born, my actual introduction to Star Trek was the movies,
The original series movies.
the original series movies.
Oh,
'Cause
Yeah, Wrath of Khan really brought it back. It really
Yeah.
did. Wrath of Khan.
this wasn't the first one.
Well, that's because the
Wasn't-
first movie was
It's kind of a disaster, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It was bloated. As a matter of fact, for those who haven't seen it, so every other-ish episode of my Kanar with Damar series, we've been reviewing the Star Trek movies in release order. So we started with the motion picture. And the most common phrase that I used for major segments of the movie, pure visual porn.
Yeah.
A good quarter of the movie's runtime was just graphics because, hey, we got a big movie budget to use. Let's use it on these hero shots of the ship.
Yeah.
And let's hire actors for one scene and destroy them in a transporter, completely unnecessary, I might add, transporter accident in the next one.
I screwed up. I said a certain thing I should remember not to say, and I'm about to get in trouble. But okay, here it comes.
Oh no, Dick! God damn it, man! There's 3 stars worth watching: Star Wars, Star Trek, and Stargate.
Yes.
Stargate can blow my poop chute. I couldn't even get through the fucking movie.
That's your mistake, though, is that the Roland Emmerich movie is completely different from anything that came afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the first half of the movie's really good, and then all of a sudden it turns into this, it's just one of those typical Hollywood, hey, look, 1,000 people died, but wow, we're going to cheer because the main character got kissed at the end bullshit things. It's just awful.
So Colorado Biker Prepper asked, the first Star Trek movie was still using models, right? They were using filming models for the hero ship through First Contact in 1996.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that scene in First Contact where they're on the outside of the hull, that's a model, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the zoom-in shot to it, yeah, they used a model. They used a filming model for First Contact. They started mixing in the CG model of the Enterprise E in Nemesis.
Yeah, the CG just didn't look. You couldn't get the same effect.
Yeah.
Right.
Up until that point, up until really recently.
Oh, sorry.
The plot hole is. Yeah, he's upset with us.
I answered the question in text. I'm sorry we didn't get to answer it verbally, but I will ask the question of the rest of the panel for you. Here's the ultimate question. Is Star Wars science fiction?
Space opera, subgenre of science fiction.
I would say science fantasy.
Yeah.
Sure, that works too.
I'm with Bull. Subset. Still under the greater umbrella, but subset.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still science fiction.
Yeah,
it's a subset of it, absolutely.
Okay, but does science fantasy
in the same way that that cyberpunk novels like William Gibson, that's science fiction, but it's specifically cyberpunk also.
And Gene Roddenberry originally billed it as Wagon Train to the Stars. And for people who don't know, Wagon Train was a 1950s TV series, literally about a wagon train heading west.
It was actually a good old show. I liked it.
Yeah.
See, Pluggle is insisting that it's not science fiction; it's a space western.
Well, no.
It certainly has elements.
That's Firefly.
It's Firefly, and it's also Cowboy Bebop. But it certainly has elements of that. Like Han Solo has the kind of gunslinger look to him and everything, and there's elements of western to it. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, well, and that's where I will agree with that. But if we're trying to narrow down categories for media like this, yes, the plot is very western. But guess what? The plot and the setup and presentation of Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, some would call that a Navy movie, specifically a submarine movie, a la the episode Balance of Terror. However, they still fall under the larger umbrella of sci-fi because you do have the sci-fi elements with the technology in Star Wars. Yes, you have the storytelling and thematic bits from both Westerns and fantasy. That's why Westerns are their own unique thing that have a typical story arc that they try to go with that has become more widespread. Yes. Oh, if you want a good spaghetti Western, I mean, there are how many ways to die in the West?
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Well, here's a question I have for the plot hole then. If you're going to insist that because of the plot, it's a science Western, is Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress a Western? Because Star Wars is 100% based on The Hidden Fortress.
Yeah, that's right. I've heard this.
Go right down to like the point that it's supposed to be narrated by these two bumbling idiot side characters, being R2-D2 and C-3PO in Star Wars.
Okay, so are we going to
say? Oh, sorry, Jared. Couldn't we say J.M. Truth's life is science fiction?
No, that's just fiction.
That's it's a tragedy.
Oh yeah.
But well, hang on. Yes, you can take some intent into play, but you have to evaluate it on how it actually ended up. You can case in point, think about how many movies intended to be these dramas, these actual really highbrow and intense dramatic movies, but they ended up being really fucking hilarious.
The Evil Dead. The original Evil Dead is supposed to be a serious horror movie. Today it's looked at more like a black comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. You can have an intent for how a movie is going to be categorized based on, well, I'm writing it this way, this is what I want it to be, but your end product doesn't exactly line up. And that's where I evaluate it by what is the actual end product, not what was it intended to be.
Well, I remember when the first Star Wars movie came out, I had a lot of friends of mine that had seen it, a couple days before I did, and a few of them actually thought it was supposed to be a comedy. It depends on, I guess how you want to look at. Now, I had read, because the book came out at the same time as the movie, so I had actually been able to read the book before I saw the movie. But a lot of times it depends on how someone just wants to take it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing because I had read almost all the book by the time I had people telling me, no, it's a funny movie. It's supposed to be a comedy. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's like for those people who actually read the books that, read the book for Starship Troopers and then went and watched it. Mm. While there are a lot of similarities where they did get the basics from the book right, it ended up being way more campy than it ever was intended to be based off the source material.
Well, the problem is that the Star Wars book was actually written with the movie. It was released with the movie. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't as if they made the movie off of a book in this case.
Yeah. But so real quick, before we lose this train of thought, here is what I'm going to put out there. 1, plot hole. I'm assuming that you're interested in the collab on these sorts of topics. That being the case, when do we want to do it, and who else do we want to have on the panel in the show with us? Because this could be a lot of fucking fun.
Definitely.
I want to say a big thanks to Salvatore Ippolito there, because he just explained something to me that I never knew, and it's hilarious. I'm still laughing at myself here.
Well, is it about they're called spaghetti westerns because of Italian producers and directors?
Yes. I always wondered, because half of the movies that I've always heard called spaghetti westerns are usually filmed down around New Mexico and stuff and filled with Mexican guys and whatnot. And I always thought to myself, why are they called spaghetti westerns? I don't get it.
I'll admit it. Growing up, I thought that they were considered spaghetti westerns because, well, when you eat spaghetti, it's kind of messy, kind of silly, kind of crazy. And it was your more slapstick and silly Western movies that typically got that moniker, from what I thought.
I always thought when I was younger, and this is going to show my age a bit, but I always thought to myself, wouldn't it be more realistic to call them like taco westerns? Because there's a lot of Mexican dudes. I didn't get it.
Quesadilla westerns.
Wow. Well,
we did hit the time limit that we're supposed to be sitting at. So you want to take us around for wraps, Kevin?
Sure.
Thanks.
So this has been a lot of fun. I'll do my own rap first. Fuck you, Jason Smith from I forgot the city name. Ohio, whatever. I didn't dox you. You're hilariously pathetic. And we should definitely talk about movies and shit more on stream, because that part of it has been a lot of fun. So to go around the room here, Mr. Dawson, yourself, what did you think of tonight?
That was a lot of fun. We covered some great topics. That was some really, really good stuff. The lead off with Jason's bullshit and how he tries to turn everything into look at me, the victim, while he's the one that knowingly goes and points things out and lies about them to create drama. Just, seriously, buddy, go fuck yourself. Enough. Just fuck off. And everything else was a lot of fun. I'm glad. Thanks everybody who joined us and stuff, and for watching. That was fun. I loved it.
Oh, gotta unmute there. Let's see who else. You barely said a word. We've been nerding out here, and I feel like we haven't given you any space to talk. Aimee, what did you think of tonight?
It's okay. I had a great time. It's funny because you guys all fit my personality so well. I've always been the listener, so I just love to listen to what you guys have to say. It's been a lot of fun. and Jason, you're a dumbass. I'm sorry, I have to say it right out. I know I swore. I'm surprised I didn't get caught yet, but come on, you doxed yourself, and it's information that you put out there in public on a public website, and you publicly displayed it because it's your little thing because you want your vape juice and stuff. So you put your own thing out there, knock it off. As for the rest of the conversation, it was awesome because I'm a science fiction fan too. Whatever the subgenres are, I still just love it. It's great. So thank you, and don't forget we have great shows next week. Thank you.
Excellent. And I just want to point out, Feel Jesus, and you told Mippet69 to read Jeranism's new stuff. You mean that guy who proved the globe twice?
Hey, and Enrique, how high are you holding it? My chest?
15 feet.
Oh. Hold it higher. Oh, we see it now.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Fake news. There's video footage of it, you idiot. All right. To continue going around the table, Big Blue, what do you think of tonight?
It was a great fun tonight. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of great chats going on over here. And listening to you guys talk about all the science fiction stuff is a treat for me. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent. Always glad to have you with us. Jared, AT2, what did you think of tonight?
It was a blast. And you know what? For as much of a hard time I give the certain flavors of idiots out there, and there are many of them, there can be good things that come from dealing with stupid. See, Jason, this is what it's like when you have friends instead of business associates. You might want to reconsider some things.
Yeah, honestly, Jason, if you think anyone you associate with isn't ready to fuck you over as hard as they can at any moment, you are extremely naive. Mike Bertelsen,
No doubt.
what did you think of tonight?
Oh, this night was a good chat. I really love coming on this show because it's always fun. And yeah, Jason can go fuck off. Everything is just all his fault. If he says anything about it, he's just a whiny little bastard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll second that.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, I'm so sorry this is happening to you.
No, you're not.
Booleanenator. No, I'm not at all. Booleanenator, what do you think of tonight?
Case in point, Kyle, if you're taking advice from Jason, you're talking about a person who can't even define releasing private information as doxing. Seriously, he can't define words properly, and you're taking advice from him or anybody he's associated with. These people do not have your best interest in heart, Kyle. They don't. And you are letting your ego and vanity rule you. You're too proud to actually give the channel back without a fight. And you think fighting the court is a smart move. Well, you're going to find out pretty damn soon, I would wager, that it's not.
Absolutely. Very well said. Dickie's in the chat. I hope Kyle looks good in a jailhouse jumper. That's something I worry about with Kyle. He's a pretty boy and he's a gay boy. He's not going to do well in jail.
Nope. I'm thinking pincushion.
Oh, so somebody take us around for final goodbyes.
Two men, one condom. Is that how that works?
Oh.
I can just hear it as he's getting marched in. Fresh meat.
Fresh fish.
Oh, we better get out of here tonight. We better get out of here. I'll say thanks and goodbye, or thanks here from all of us. And what do you say, people? We're out. Let's say goodnight. We're done. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Space Cowboys.